Year 8! Give it up for Year 8! It was another year without a Donkey Kong, whose 40th anniversary was sad. Alright, so it hasn't exactly been 8 years just yet, but I did want to get ahead of the curve for this year because, I don't know, I'm scared to say it. Don't hit me. It's actually pretty ridiculous for me to say it because I've been saying it for like the last 5 years in a fucking row, but you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna rip this band-aid off. Here it goes. This is the year. Ah, okay. I have no way of knowing this for sure. I'm just going based off of a hunch that has been wrong for 5 years in a row. I should probably get that checked because it's not going away. Truth is, I just punched my juice. Truth is, I just wanted to get a chance to talk about Donkey Kong again on this channel. I missed that goofy guy. But also, in the off chance that there's a Nintendo Direct early next month that drops the reveal for the next DK installment, this video would be totally obsolete. And I gotta talk about the agonizing 8-year wait between Tropical Freeze and now. It's just what I do. And while I'm talking about Donkey Kong, I might as well mention about Kong Watch while I'm at it. It started as a fun way for me to talk about DK, a whole lot more on this channel, but really, the trickle of solid, tangible information regarding anything related to DK was slow, and I ended up reporting on rumors more than anything else. I noticed that people were beginning to get frustrated by that. I felt I was setting up expectations in all the wrong ways, and it was a bit irresponsible of me, even if I did mention in those videos that they were nothing more than rumors, and shouldn't be taken too seriously. And really, I mean, you know, even if it was totally harmless speculation, giving any kind of attention to rumors like that is just going to spawn more attention seekers looking for their 5 minutes of fame. So I really reeled it in. Not that there weren't any topics to discuss. I could have talked about the Mario movie news and how it pertains to DK, or more stuff about the theme park, but I don't know, those topics aren't necessarily tied to whatever game project is coming up, you know, so I don't know. I'll keep Kong Watch in mind. Maybe I need to make a decision about what kind of direction I'd like for that little series to move towards, but what I had been doing, I don't think that was it, Chief. Now, with all this said, the rumors, the speculation, all that aside, I'm still standing firm on my little hill that a new DK is coming. I believe I've said this in previous videos, but if you know where to look and who to listen to, the information is already out there. That and, you know, some people who I've had chats with behind closed doors, I trust them. They're not the kind of people who would feed me bullshit. Now, I'm not gonna pretend that I know when it's coming. I thought last year, being DK's 40th anniversary, it was in the bag, but nothing happened. And I mean, realistically, you don't even need to be in the know to recognize that a new DK is probably coming. Nintendo has now released games in each of their staple franchises on the Switch, including a port of Tropical Freeze, which, if you can believe it, is almost 4 years old now. Oh my god. But if there's one little glimmer of hope I can give to my fellow DK fans out there, it's that something is coming. Don't know what, don't know when, but eventually we'll have our new DK on Switch. Now, let's take a step back and speculate a bit. I know, speculating is a dangerous game. Just know that I know nothing about the release time frame for the game, and I'm speaking purely from a personal standpoint, so don't take it too seriously. So the question I will pose here is, what are the chances of Donkey Kong in 2022? I think there's a couple ways we can look at this. I think the biggest determining factor is Nintendo's 2022 game lineup. There are so many games on the docket for this year already. Pokemon Legends Arceus, Kirby, Advance Wars, Splatoon 3, Mario plus Rabbids, Bayonetta 3, Triangle Strategy. That's already pretty stacked. And I didn't even mention the other two major hitters. Now, okay, the chances of Metroid Prime 4 releasing this year are admittedly probably slim, but it has been 3 years since the game restarted development, so if I were to look at this optimistically, maybe it could release as a holiday title, but the pessimist in me says, nah, no way, bro. I think it's possible we'll get a teaser or some sort of glimpse at it this year, though, at the very least. Metroid aside, I think the real determining factor for DK this year lies in the hands of Breath of the Wild 2. If Breath of the Wild 2 is ready to go for the holidays this year, it's no contest. It will eat up every piece of marketing Nintendo has leading into the holidays. That is, if it's ready to go. Lots of people thought it would come out last year, which I kind of thought was too early. You know, this year, I think it's possible. If not this year, next year for sure. But for the sake of discussion, let's say it does come out this holiday. That puts DK kind of in a weird spot. Unless DK were announced early this year and released late summer or sometime into the fall, it could end up clashing a bit with Breath of the Wild. Not only that, but Nintendo likely doesn't have their full game lineup announced yet. There's probably still some other big announcements for this year lined up still. Now, who knows? Maybe DK is one of those games and there wouldn't be any issues with the release schedule conflict or whatever. I'm just saying, Nintendo has a stacked lineup already, so it wouldn't necessarily have to release this year, you know? So on the flip side of this, Nintendo generally announces a new game or two for their beginning of the year directs. DK could fit that bill perfectly. Nintendo seems to announce their games with a pretty cool first trailer. Gives you enough of a taste to get excited. Then later on down the road, they just pop the lid off and drop a shiny new trailer that reveals so much more about the game, and then they release it a few months later. That could work. An earlier announcement, that second shiny new trailer at E3, and then bam, DK in October or November or something. You know, Nintendo's own games aside, I'd put money down on another Pokemon game or games for November. Pokemon is basically Nintendo, but they kind of operate on their own wavelength separate from what Nintendo does, so if Nintendo wants to give Pokemon their own space, a November DK release may not be in the cards, even though DK occupied that space long before Pokemon. Fuck you, Pokemon! Another option to consider is that Nintendo could announce the game this year and hold off till next year. There's been a change in the marketing tides. We've known about so many of their games coming this year since last year. I personally prefer that. It gives you some stuff to look forward to, as opposed to feeling like they have absolutely nothing on the docket. And well, I guess the final thing to consider is that we may just go another year without any mention of the Big Ape. That is a sad, very real possibility, but that is life. And what is life but a series of disappointments? Sorry, that was kind of depressing, jeez. Alright, well, I think that's about it. Guys, I know I've said it time and time again, but we'll eventually get that Donkey Kong game. It's like the last major Nintendo series that has yet to receive a brand new game for Switch. In a way, that's kind of exciting. It's been 8 long years. That's unprecedented for the DK series, and that might mean they're cooking up something great for us. I'm willing to wait for as long as we need to for another great game. DK has a certain pedigree in fantastic games, you know? So, if that game gets announced, you'll hear from me very soon after the fact. And if it doesn't, I'll be here next year. Same time, same place, speculating into the internet video void. But also, don't dwell on it. Try not to go into every direct this year expecting a DK announcement. That's setting yourself up for disappointment. When it happens, it happens. Unfortunately, we don't have any way of knowing when it'll happen, so just let it happen. It'll be all the more rewarding and exciting when you tune into that Nintendo Direct and the Big Ape shows up. That's all. I want to hear from you guys. Let me ask something different for a change. What kind of Donkey Kong game would you like to see? I probably have already asked this before, but it's kind of unrelated to the video topic as a whole. What sort of elements, would you like to see the next game integrate? Me personally, I just want the extended Kong family back, and of course, see the grand return of the Kremlin crew. I'm not too picky. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys on the next one.